Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we're going to be talking about our strength build. Now, has it really changed since the Dex update? We're going to play with the stats and find out how badly it has changed. First things first, I did reset all my stat points for you guys so we can sit through this together, and I'll show you guys the method that I use to kind of mess around with what I feel is the best way to mess with my stats. Now, obviously, I am an Umbrian, so my dex is going to be a little higher than most, so I already have a 41% crit chance. Now, with a 41% crit chance and a crit power that already starts off at 2 times damage, is it worth to actually put more points in, especially since I am wearing the appropriate armor and everything? I pretty much have the equivalent of 20 free dexterity points. So with that being the case, how long does it take until we get 3 times damage? Let's find out. So I played with this a little bit, and 3 times damage is about at 50. So 50 is 3 times damage. Then we go a little further, and we have 4 times damage at level 84. And then we go all the way to the end, and without armor, with armor, this would go all the way up to 480. This could go to 500 with the appropriate armor. The thing is, right, you don't need like to do 4 times damage. You really don't. This is more of like a thing for like obviously it's like you don't really need to do 4 to 5 times damage. If you want to be a glass cannon, then sure, but survivability is also number 2 in this game. And let's just kind of figure out where how much points we're probably going to have by the end of the game. So at the end of the game, or most likely, since I'm level 50, and there's 2 points that are pretty much missing from the entire leveling system, then that in that case we're going to be walking away with 198 points, not 200 points, 198. So, with strength already being up here, all we have to do is just take this to the max. By the way, uh, if we look at the way that strength works, right, we're looking for 2 times damage on strength. So right now we have a physical power of 435. For just a couple points, 2 times damage right there. And another couple points, 3 times damage right there. 4 times damage right there. And the numbers go up. And as you can see, the further we go in the strength category, the more ridiculous the damage numbers tend to go, for far cheaper than it would be for dex. So for dexterity, the fastest way I would say for a lot of people to enjoy it is by getting, this point. You know what I mean? Getting full strength still and then going for dex right after. It's just going to be much cheaper to get full dex now, especially at the fact that dexterity also is equipped with armor, and we're going to look at that right now. So for instance, as you can see, we are doing a lot of damage. And my crits are very often, actually. They're actually come by very often, very often. Now, with the way that it works, right? Obviously, there probably is going to be a future nerf because dexterity is so cheap. But at most people are going to be doing 3 times damage and then putting the rest into constitution. I feel like that's going to be the best build for anyone who's going to be running strength, whether that be with a sword, whether that be with anything else. We're going to go ahead and take a look at, oh, sorry. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the catacombs. So those who do know what endgame damage looks like, what I did do before was I was doing about 3 times damage, which I was doing 3 times damage with a little less strength, and that was critting for at least 400 and something damage guaranteed. Guaranteed crit is very nice. The only issue is it's not very necessary at this level at this time. Now, with that being the case, right, we kind of just want to mess around with it a little bit and really see where we could really get the feels, whether that be with armor or whether that be with something else. But now that this is the case, now we're going to be able to use something like on the Forge list, the Zuby armor is going to freaking skyrocket in price due to the fact that that gives you 15 dexterity, which right there is free dexterity and a nice chunk of strength. Is it worth running that, or is it worth running heavy armor with that? If I am going to be totally honest, I think it purely depends on what pets you're running, what armor you're running, what weapons are you running. Because if you're running something like, let's say, like strength, and then you want to run greatsword main, then that's totally up to you. All you need is some slightly stronger armor, so you can at least get closer to your enemy. Now, if you're running bow and you want to be a glass cannon or at least like be a lot more destructive, then obviously you're going to be going for the dex. So let's see, 600 damage on crit with a loss of some of that damage whenever we do hit a normal arrow shot. So that is a loss in damage depending on RNG. So it is a 50-50. I am absolutely killing these things at literally the exact same rate that I would as if I had the 3 times damage. Just because of RNG's sake. Now there are ways to increase your RNG, such as certain potions, certain foods, and also certain things, such as I believe I have those peanuts on me right now, which is, yes, these crit enhanced potions. As you can see, that food right there will increase my crit chance, and that increases my crit chance to, I think 50, yeah, 57%. So it's very, very nice. Let's go ahead and crit now. It's slightly more frequent crits. There's also a pet in the game that also increases your crit damage. Now, am I saying go for full crit? It would make sense too because you are tripling your damage hands down for going for that extra mile of getting that extra bit of crit damage. But I personally think, where are you in level? What item are you using? You know, we're going to end up getting further in levels anyways. I feel like that this is going to still be a full strength and then some dex. But if you do want to mess around with it, make it a little more, you know, interesting, then sure. But at the same time, if you do this, like, right, you're going to be careful because um, your skill damage also matters quite a bit too. You're going to drop in skill damage if you can't hit your, if you don't have enough strength. As you can see, 3,000 skill damage right there just with my arrow. And if you are a mage, I suggest not even touching a crit build because mages literally just work off of spamming skills. So skill spamming is far more important than getting those extra bits of damage. As you can see, dealing with these creatures is not really going to be that big of an issue for me anymore. Let's say we switch to the greatsword. I have another Titan greatsword because I got it from a drop. Very cool. All right, let's say we switch, right? And we switch to the greatsword build. All right. For those who want to see greatsword combat, all right, let's go with the. Oh, I missed. Stun. Slam. Oh, he didn't die. My bad. But 600 damage is not bad. I'm not running any type of special like armor or anything like that. It just is what it is. We're going to go ahead and bait this one, and then we're going to go for the mid-air cross and chop. All right. Then we're going to go for the slam, and that's an easy kill. As you can see, we're still doing like a lot of damage. You do want to, take that into consideration. That damage is going to matter quite a bit. These dudes don't particularly have the strongest, armor in the game, but at the same time, right, you can retaliate quite easily. As you can see, with the 600 damage, it's very, very nice. With the legendary weapon, I would be obviously doing a lot more damage, but this is just the showcase, obviously. I'm not going to go crazy. I don't have particularly the craziest amount of mana and stuff like that, but this is just what I feel more comfortable with. I've tried the full crit build. It's more consistent, I will tell you that for sure. It's just that right now, I feel that the way that the builds are working right now, I kind of want to just see what happens when we get to max HP. I mean max level, or at least like to level 60, level 55. It only takes a couple more points to actually get us to that level. You know what I mean? It only takes us a couple points to actually get us there. And then after that, we're pretty much set for life. And there's really nothing else to worry about there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. I will see you guys later. Take it easy and peace out.